back on January 22nd, 2019, where Dave had beat me really bad on the stairway. And he damaged my ribcage, chicken winged my arm, knocked me in the wood railing, and punched me twice in the stomach with both fists. Caused permanent inflammation in my intestines. Pain like you would not believe. Okay? Alright. I still have pain and my ribcage is still damaged. The cartilage got damaged. It'll never heal all the way. I even had to have where I hit the wood railing, my hip got knocked forward. And when I went to physical therapy, they said it was out of place. They had to put it back. You talk about painful. Yeah, people telling you they're putting your one hand under your hip, the other one on top, the other one's looking like it's a safe place to cry. It's like, I'm okay. They're moving like it's really a safe place you can cry. I said, I'm really okay. I said, it's a safe place to cry. I said, I'm about that time she pulls my leg straight out. I couldn't breathe. She's like, you can cry. I'm like, okay. I couldn't breathe. I ended up missing work for like 2 weeks where all the muscles had been tendons locked forward for over a year or two. They had to pull it, like ripped everything back in place and pulled it back out brutally. Caused extreme muscle spasms and was off work. Okay? But January 22nd, 2019, I had a scope done because I was in so much pain. Okay? When they took me in the back, they put you on a gurney, get you ready to knock you out and to scope your stomach. As they're pushing me back, this older Indian guy's there. He said, that's my princess. You take care of my princess. And he's looking right at me. He's helping push me. I'm like, who the hell are you? And he's saying, I told those people they better not let anything happen to my princess. And he said, I mean it. You better take care of her. Well, an Indian family started showing up after that, watching me. Okay, we need to have a long talk. I know he's elderly and not his princess. And they probably sold me to him. And you need to explain to him they took his money and he was just scammed. And he did a really bad thing and he better hope the police don't find him. And just get over it. Nope, no princess. Okay? Now that we clean that up, because I seen the Indian family the other day. Get it? Alright, another thing. They keep lying to these riffraff idiots that there's a Karen's room that is waiting to meet her when the case is over. No, he isn't. People have watched her too. No, he isn't. He's a human trafficker. He's lying to you. If you really want to meet me, come up meet me. He's scamming you. Just come get me and go on. I'm a free U.S. citizen with no charges. No accusations. Got it? He's scamming you to help. And because of my nice older neighbor, they were using that excuse. I'm sitting there eating dinner with him. Gave me a free room to live in. When Dave quit paying my alimony, and then my hours at work had got cut, and I gave up my apartment. I had a lot of debt. And I get a free room to live in. We're only friends. And then me and him have a talk. Because where he told everybody, he's like, you don't need a lover, you need a father. Well, my dad's dead. He's old enough to be my dad. And I said, well, that's really sweet. He said, I'm going to tell everybody you're my daughter. And he told everybody I was his daughter. And then all of a sudden, where I'm getting him healthier foods and stuff, he starts calling me his dead wife's name. Then he told me he loved me. I was like, you don't, we had a long talk tonight. You don't love me. You're missing your dead wife. I'm not her. You keep calling me her. You need to realize you're still in love with her. And what happened to me being your daughter, and we're only friends, because that's the only thing that's ever been is friendship. And where are you getting the rest of this? And he said, I didn't realize I was doing it. And where this other girl, he was starting to see her, he hurt her feelings. It's like, you need to apologize to her. You gotta have a mama talk. Of, what are you doing? Stop it. Kind of thing of, you're not acting right. And what are you doing? And he's like, well, we're the bestest friend. I said, we are the bestest friend. And I said, I'll love you forever as a friend. And I said, I always looked at you as an angel sent from God. You helped me when nobody else would. And I'll always love you forever for that as a friend. And you calling me your dead wife's name, you're just missing her and seeing characteristics of her and me. And I'm not her. And that girl that you were seeing, you need to go apologize. And then go start back up with her. Because we're still all friends. I don't need complications and craziness on top of craziness. Okay. I have enough Looney Tunes of. And then that guy in Altman Hospital, the police, the FBI, the CIA, NSA, Department of Justice. I told everywhere to find that old burr. Him in there confessing. Oh, and what the fuck is wrong with Altman Hospital? They already got in trouble in 21 for letting fake FBI agents in the back. And talking to people about people being seen in their hospital. The administration already threatened them. Our staff will not discuss anybody being seen in this hospital or have been seen. I will take care of them. See, March 13, 21, where in the case at 12/21/18, I was stabbed in the neck, bashed in the back of the head, beat, raped, and left for dead. I have the imprint of a ball being hammered in the back of my head. Okay? Had migraines for 2 years, felt like half of my head was going to explode. I mean, literally, like half of my head was going to explode. They made up this scam of the chip to cover up the attempted murder. I have about that big, I have a dent in the back of my head at the top. It's like a perfect imprint of a hammer. Okay? Okay? I was out for over 6 hours. I'm lucky I didn't die. That's why I stutter when I get upset. It's from a head injury. Okay? I go in with one of those really bad headaches. The lady that was impersonating retired Judge Pete's wife, that old fat white woman. She comes in and she's like, the FBI chipped you because they wanted the truth out of you, because they're trying to lie to people at a neurochip. Neurochipping people, it was outlawed in 2007. The Torture and Terrorism Act. It's against all human dignity. Comes with a 20-year sentence. They tried it in Guanaco Bay, and every agent went to jail for it. You can't torture people, you can't drug them, and you cannot chip them. All basic human rights and all basic human dignity. It's illegal. Okay? They made up. Now, if you went to some kind of scientist and you were some kind of prodigy that they were trying out, and you did it with their permission, that's one thing. But they can't just grab you and cut your head open. That's crazy crap. But I also found out through another medical professional, the women that they were raping and releasing, they told them that they chipped them. Chips are puppy shots. A lot of big businesses out west, you got them in your hand or your wrist and you swipe it over for clock in, clock out, or your computer access. It's a puppy shot. And I found out they were telling other people that they had raped, they had chipped them, and if they tried to tell the police, they would be able to find them and they couldn't hide them. And it was a way to get away with rape. Okay? They said they were on some kind of chat thing and people were talking that they had done it to other women. Okay. 12/21/18 is when I'm stabbed in the neck, bashed in the back of the head, being raped, and left for dead. March 13th, 21, I'm still having migraines from that attack. Okay? Go in the hospital, that old fat white woman comes up and says that to me. People walk in with fake FBI badges. They're flashing them and they get them back. Dr. Alan Martinez looks at me, goes to walk out, and there's a guy out the room, and they're talking about trying to tell him that they chipped me too. I eventually have to go to the bathroom. And that weird Eric that was a stalker that made fun of everybody that they thought first on a taser for, ha 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 ha, November 18th, 22, that everything was him and not me, called up Altman Hospital and he's lying to him. And that nurse is breaking HIPAA violations on the phone with him. Okay? I go back to my room and security's calling me bad names walking by, so I leave. Okay? I go over to Mercy Medical. Part of my agreement with the FBI is nobody will ever touch me legally or harmfully. Lady comes in, no man was ever to touch her. They were to make sure of it. The nurse comes in laughing with the guy. The only thing they had you on was adjusting yourself. The guy said, that's sick. Said, no, she only simply wiped off water with clothes on. He said, that's sick. She said, no, she just brushed it off. It's actually really funny. They didn't have anything else. They walk off laughing. That's when people even around me today, they found the tape where they said they put the shower scene in the other room. Where you been? Sheriff's already knew. The police that worked my case already knew. They always knew. There's a shower scene in the other room. People started saying then, they said, you touch yourself, you expose yourself, you touch yourself, look weird. And it's like, you did what? Well, March 1st to 3rd of 21, they said they were going to put two clips together, put her in a porn. It's not her, it's them. Don't worry about it. It made my stomach bleed. I literally pooped out blood for days. I was so upset. You did what else to me? And they had people show up and mock me. Okay? And I thought, then I got to thinking they're playing me. They put my head on somebody else's body. You can Photoshop that. And then I got to thinking, what would you be doing? If you touch yourself, you expose yourself, you're undressing. You touch yourself, you look weird, but not weird. You'd be putting yeast infection cream on, or did I get undressing, get in the shower, and I'm washing? You have to wash the pee and poop off you and any kind of residue, or you smell like a dirty wet diaper. Come on now. You get behind people in restaurants that don't wash, or stores, and you have to hold your breath. And it's like, it sounds like washing, showering. Go outside to smoke. She figured out what they did. May 12th, 22 at noon. People were screaming at them. We told those boys, none of this is funny. We found a tape of them emitting a shower scene in the other room. May 26th, 22 at noon. My phone's bugged. The shower scene was done on purpose to make it look weird. Then I got a whole lot more people knowing it. It was done by a bunch of drug dealers, drugged and told to say stuff, photoshopped all the lies, supposed to raise some guy named Chris Otherman. I never had a Chris in my house. I never had these people. Or I called the FBI. I never even seen anybody. Just wake up with marks, throwing up, heart racing, my head's pounding, and a severe personal infection, and I'm blaming everything on the dirty well water that I'm showering in, thinking maybe it's got E. coli or something. It was killing me. And here it's serial rapists, raping me. A bunch of drug dealers running a scam on me. Okay? Well, July 8th, 24, the guy behind everything, where Dave said he hired Pete on his own. He's in Altman Hospital billing department. The lady called me and she needs fired and she needs arrested. I just used my debit card at McDonald's. She calls me up and she said, your debit card was declined. I said, I know how much money is on it, and it was not declined. Okay? And in the background, he's glaring his mouth. I'm the one that paid for all those men to show up here. I brought them here and I paid for it. He said, and I paid for them to do all those things to her. And I paid for all those people to follow her and say all those things and do all those things to her. I paid for all this. I found out what was going on and it was wrong. So I hired those men to show up here and to do all those things to her. And I paid for all those people to do all those things and these people to follow her around and do all these things. I made sure she couldn't carry a gun again. I know she only carried a gun because Dave controlled her. And when she finds out what's going on, I don't have to worry about her shooting people. The cops were never worried about me shooting people. They told people, you don't carry a clip and a gun because you don't have it in you to shoot somebody. Karen doesn't have it in her to hurt anybody. Karen is nothing but good and love. It's ridiculous for any child to be afraid of Karen. She's nothing but good and love. They told people in North Maine, it's ridiculous for anybody to insult her. She almost died to save children. And they always knew their stocking tapes, that weird with yourself, was a photoshopped of washing and showering in the other room. And they always knew that they had drugged her up and told her to say it before. And it was a backup plan if she didn't die trying to extort money or things from her. So, yeah. The guy that they call Karen's Will, that pays people to watch her. The one that's telling everybody he's an FBI agent, Will, is drug dealer Pete. People, oh my Lord, in North Katniss last week were screaming. We all heard that old drug dealer confess. He paid for everything and it was all him. People in Belden Village, the same thing. Nobody will say a word. We all heard that old drug dealer confess. Everybody go on the Department of Justice, submit a complaint, human traffickers. It'll take you to ICE. Go down to the very bottom little blue line, online report. They'll never contact you. You can put contact U.S. Marshals. They've already been here a couple times. They would love a Kingsman from Texas. A man that works for the fentanyl gang. I told the CIA, go on CIA contact, same thing. NSA, drop down OIG, same thing. One FBI submitted a tip. Oh, I did that too. I told him, you want the guy behind it. You want the guy saying he's FBI agent? Well, you got him. And you got his confession. I told the Stark County Sheriff's, the Portage County Sheriff's, the guy that was framing retired Judge Pete, Judge Stephen Ludick, Judge Stephen, and the Portage County Sheriff's, he confessed. And you have his confession. Even when that agent on a recorded line was laughing at me about some guy named Pete and how I didn't know. Only Pete I knew was my brother Medina. He was making fun of me for my rapist. A drug dealer running a scam on me. People in Target on Tuesday said, all those people act like to go along with it. That guy's connected to that trader. They all want that trader. If you all work for the King for Texas, we are his men. He sent us here to help. He's a drug lord. Dave hired us. Who's the King from Texas? U.S. military, Iraqi translator, went into dark web malware. Fentanyl King. He's a traitor. Him and his men are traitors and terrorists, creating their own little group of selling women and children and killing them. It's a terrorist group. Turn them in. They got the Florida human traffickers up here, Henry Maffey, the Gentleman's Club from Florida, and then all the other drug cartels were here. And I was left in the middle under police surveillance, them all confessing their crimes. With a court order for protected home custody from an FBI informant with staples, with a judge's order. Like they said, it can't be disputed, and it stands up in court without it, because the police are taking this. With a court order from a judge. I'm going to put it that way. Where people told people in 19, there's a judge that protects her. Yeah. With a court order. FBI informant. Protected home custody with her to life with statements. You have to have a judge sign it. That's where the Stark County Sheriff's watch me and admit to. Like my friend from the prosecutor's office. Tell the FBI put you in another witness protection program. You'll stay informant for life. That's where the police were telling Mo set it up, no one will ever touch her again in her life after what those people did. Like my friend from the prosecutor's office. It'd be illegal for the FBI to drop you. If they actually tried to kill you, they could hire somebody else. You'll have to be in a witness protection program the rest of your life. You get paid for working the case and only for working the case. And that agent don't have enough authority to ask you to stay quiet. He's only bullying you. I never got paid like $350,000 over 5 years. Gone. Like they said, the one guy from the case, they're wondering if he hasn't been playing along with them, trying to get him, or if he's actually became a traitor too. Good question. Confessed to telling on me, act like a crazy cult person. Made me beg for my life, bullies me into false statements, then lists me informant with money and immunity, even when you tell, and then threaten me to tell. If I tell, blah, 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 blah. After he admitted he had met with the church people in the Vegas 4 different times. Laughs at me for the scam at Pete, make fun of me for the rapist, the drug dealer that's running a scam. Yeah, well, if you want the guy that paid for everything, He totally confesses. Oh, and by the way, PB Poo, where that lady at the billing department, you had her call me up to get my credit card number so she could read it out loud for you to hear. She needs arrested for that. Because I could hear you perfectly, that means you could hear her too, and there was nothing wrong with that debit card. I turned it off. It was compromised. Got a new one. Different number. Nice try.